Welcome to the Industry Intelligence Impact Report Deep Dive. I'm your host, Nevin Barich, and this week we take a closer look at a growing trend in the CPG space. Specifically, major companies, particularly in the food and beverage and personal care segments, taking an in-depth look at many of its well-known products whose branding could be considered racially insensitive. Now, this is not the first time that companies have reviewed products that had racial undertones. But for the most part, those previous reviews have been one-offs. This time around, it's more en masse, fueled by the George Floyd murder and subsequent protests nationwide over the treatment of African Americans. Not to mention, we have a president of the United States who has been accused more than once of racist comments and outright racism. All of these factors keep this movement in the forefront. As a result, over the past 2 weeks, companies such as Nestle, L'Oreal, and PepsiCo have announced the review and/or change of branding of products considered to have racial branding. Recent headlines from Industry Intel's Impact Report show this trend in greater detail. June 17th, PepsiCo's Quaker Oats business says it will remove the image of Aunt Jemima from its packaging and change the name of the syrup brand, citing the brand's origins in racist imagery of black people. Also on June 17th, Conagra Brands announces a review of its Mrs. Butterworth brand, saying while the brand is intended to evoke the images of a loving grandmother, quote, "We can see that our packaging may be interpreted in a way that is wholly inconsistent with our values." And again on June 17th, Mars announces plans for a, quote, brand evolution for its Uncle Ben's Rice brand as a way to help put an end to racial bias and injustices. June 18th, Colgate-Palmolive reviewing the name, logo, and packaging for its Chinese toothpaste brand Darlie amid U.S. racial inequality unrest. The brand was previously named Darky, featuring a man in blackface, and its current Chinese name still means, quote, black person toothpaste. June 19th, Johnson & Johnson to stop selling skin whitening creams popular in Asia, India, and the Middle East due to renewed scrutiny of whitening products amid global unrest about racial inequality. June 21st, Froneri to change the name and marketing of its nearly century-old Eskimo Pie chocolate-covered ice cream bar, the latest brand to tackle racially charged logos and marketing. June 23rd, Nestle to change the name of two of its confectionery products in Australia, Redskins and Chico's, on the grounds they have racial overtones. June 24th, Nestle announces plans to rename and redesign its Beso de Negra candy product in Colombia because it has been deemed racially insensitive. Beso de Negra translates to, quote, kiss from a black woman. June 25th, Unilever to change the name of its skin lightening brand Fair & Lovely, which is sold across Asia. The company will end references to whitening, lightening, or fairness on product packs and in communications, and feature women of different skin tones in its advertising. June 26, L'Oreal will remove words referencing white, fair, and light from its skin evening products, including Garnier Skin Naturals White Complete Multi-Action Fairness Cream. On a personal note, when I first heard that PepsiCo was changing its Aunt Jemima branding, my first thought was, well, it's about time. And then I immediately felt embarrassed. Yes, these changes are long overdue, but I never voiced that opinion. In fact, I'll be honest, I never thought about it. I grew up with Aunt Jemima on my pancakes and waffles. It never crossed my mind that the packaging and branding could be considered racially insensitive. And honestly, I'm ashamed of that. I should have known better. We all should have known better. I'm glad there's a big spotlight on these brands to change, and I hope that future CPG brands will take heed. Thanks for listening to the Industry Intelligence Impact Report Deep Dive. I'm Nevin Barich.